Hello viewers, this is Nahoo News Weekly presenting this week's news to you. It's me, Gifty Makonnen. Please stay tuned. As we move on to our first news, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Dammaqe Makonnen stated that the 16th Ethio-Djibouti Ministerial Conference was fruitful. The 16th Ethio-Djibouti Ministerial Conference, which has been held for 3 consecutive days, has ended, and Deputy Prime Minister Dammaqe Makonnen and Djibouti Foreign Minister Mohammed Ali Yusuf were present at the closing forum. It is said that the conference will further strengthen the cooperation between the two countries in the social, economic, trade, and transport sectors. The meeting of the Joint Commission of Ministers of Ethiopia and Djibouti was suspended for 3 years due to coronavirus epidemic. In conclusion, an agreement has been signed to enable Djibouti to purchase electricity from Ethiopia. The Ethiopian government issued a statement condemning baseless accusations being made by irresponsible parties to impose dangerous political agendas on Ethiopia. The government stated it will never tolerate any false defamation of the Ethiopian government by various Western bodies and that the accusations being made are not based on inferences or actual events. The government further stated that even some institutions with good reputations have taken part in this smear campaign against Ethiopia with false accusations to bring Ethiopia to its knees. However, not all have been fooled by believing the slander about Ethiopia. The government has reiterated that if these parties thought that they could make such shocking accusations and harass the Ethiopian government to change the preventative measures it's taking against the TPLF, they are wrong. Some Western authorities have started to publicly speak that they are making these false accusations because Ethiopia has refused to accept their orders. However, these accusations do not at all change the reality on the ground. These important institutions and important actors are participating in this false campaign without sufficient awareness, which makes them irresponsible and shameful for using such serious and condemnable accusations for political purposes. A mass grave where thousands of members and leaders of the TPLF were buried was said to have been found in an area called Jarjar, after the TPLF was said to have carried out an attack on the members of the Defense Army's Northern Command on October 24, 2020, posing a great threat to Ethiopia's sovereignty and leaving many people with physical and psychological injuries. The government took law enforcement and survival campaign that was able to reverse the danger of existence that was imposed on Ethiopia. The government was said to have also demonstrated its commitment to peace by declaring a separate ceasefire. However, the TPLF has been said to be making the people of Tigray lose their children in the cycle of war by making repeated raids in Amhara and Afar regions, as well as forcing children to participate in war. The hidden secret of TPLF continues to be exposed in the areas that are being taken from TPLF's control as the measures being taken by the National Defense Force continues. The wheat that the TPLF had stored in warehouses and used to feed its soldiers was distributed to the people. The information we received from the National Defense Force implied that wheat that was entering the Tigray region in the name of humanitarian aid that the TPLF had hijacked and stockpiled to feed its fighting army has been found by the National Defense Force. 120 quintals of wheat that was discovered by the Defense Force was distributed to 2,767 households in Qoram city. The Northern Mountains National Park Office has announced that a census has been started to protect and preserve rare wild animals and biodiversity in the Northern Mountains National Park. According to the head of the office, Mr. Ababa Zanu, the census has started at 68 census sites identified by research in the park region. He said that the counting of the walia in 32 sites and the counting of the red foxes in 36 sites is taking place. He explained that around 150 park supervisors and scouts with international experience and professional partners are participating in the counting work. The National Intelligence and Security Service, in coordination with the Ethiopian Federal Police and the Oromia Police, has announced that action has been taken on individuals and their organizations engaged in illegal foreign exchange after thorough investigation. The service announced in a statement sent to Walta that in the last 2 months, a wide and in-depth study was conducted on illegal foreign currency holders. After the problem was identified, 48 individuals who were involved in illegal foreign exchange, and a large amount of money from different countries, as well as bank books and various documents related to the activities, were taken to custody. The statement indicated that the individuals who were arrested were monitoring foreign exchange rates, collecting and deploying collectors, and that they carried out their illegal activities under the guise of various licensed businesses, retail shops, boutiques, grocers, and supermarkets, as well as vehicles. The first African Youth Summit will be held in Addis Ababa from October 29th until October 31st, 2022. It has been announced that the conference will be held under the theme Integrated Africa, the Bridge of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Young leaders from more than 50 African countries are expected to participate in the conference. The summit is organized by the Office of the Prime Minister and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and is said to be aimed to strengthen the brotherhood of Africans and promote Pan-Africanism. According to the organizing committee, former leaders of Ethiopia are expected to share their experience to the youth. Moving on to our final news, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Birtukan Ayano, said that the National Committee is preparing to resume the work of repatriating citizens from Saudi Arabia, which has been suspended for the time being. In order to restart the work of repatriating citizens in crisis from Saudi Arabia, a team led by the Minister of State and the Commissioner for Disaster Risk Management, Ambassador Shifarao Taklamariam, and consisting of members of the National Repatriation Committee from various federal offices, visited the temporary shelters of the returnees. During the visit, Ambassador Birtukan said that the government is taking practical steps to bring back citizens who are in difficult situations. She stated that the visit was designed to continue the work of repatriating citizens, to assess the availability of basic services for returnees in shelters, to provide training and job opportunities for returnees, and to assess the conditions of the shelters. She recalled that more than 71,000 citizens who were in difficult conditions in Saudi Arabia were able to return to their country through the coordination of National Committee formed by 16 stakeholder institutions. Senior officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the National Disaster Management Commission, the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Women and Social Affairs, and the Ministry of Employment and Skills participated in the visit and said that they will play their role in repatriating citizens. That was the end of our weekly news. Please stay tuned to remaining programs from Nahoo Television. It was me, Gifty McConnell, presenting this week's news to you. Until next week.